What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redmond here with episode number 13 of the Sliema Journey. We've now completed the first 11 games of the season, as well as the European campaign. We'll get straight into the details. We'll have a look at the transfers first. See who we brought in. We brought in two players, two youngsters as well, to be fair. But he's not a youngster, he's 25. Lucas Pisana on a free from Melita in the first division. Give us cover at the front, when Joselito was injured. I played one up front, but I only realised actually after the last episode that I actually have one striker and that's it. So I had to bring someone in to cover my main striker if he gets injured or suspended. And my other player, is Steve Tabon, 19-year-old attacking midfielder, who is pretty decent, quite level with Ariel Ladalsi, though Ladalsi is older. He's in his late 30s, or in his early 30s at least, so I can bring Tabon in as backup, and then as probably my main player when Ladalsi leaves or retires. I didn't release any players because I actually kept every single one on, which I don't normally do, but it is a bit of a struggle to find decent players in Malta, so I just tend to keep my main players and try and sign a few, and then maybe release the players the season after if they get a little worse. So that's my transfers this season. Let's get into the Europa League, and as you guys will remember from the last episode, I was drawn against HJK Helsinki, probably the strongest team in the seeded section of the Europa League, and the team I did not want. I have to say this European campaign has not gone bad at all, so let's get straight into the fixtures. We were away to HJK first leg as well, and here we go. We lost 4-2. It was a little harsh, to be fair, because we had quite a few chances before we finally scored through Gonzalez, who put us 1-0 up in the 21st minute. We only held the lead for 6 minutes though, as Jay Hanlon, as his name is, or Helanen or something, however how you say it. He levelled it for HJK, and unfortunately we then conceded with 4 minutes to go before half time through Lotolo, who put HJK 2-1 up. And then we had a mad couple of minutes because Hanlinen doubled his tally for the game in the 64th minute, and then Sundberg made it 4-1 to HJK 2 minutes later. Luckily for us, DC pulled one back in the 67th minute to make it 4-2 and make it an interesting second leg. Stats wise, it's 12 shots to 10 to them, 7 shots to 5 on target in my favour, their favour, and they got 51% of the possession. So we go into the second leg 4-2 down, which isn't too bad, to be honest with you. I thought we might be able to make something out of it. And as you can see, we did. We won 2-0 on the night, thanks to a goal from Marachi in the 9th minute. So it was really nice to get quite an early goal, actually, when we're needing to win by 2 goals to get anywhere near them. We went into half-time 1-0 up, and we were holding our own, to be fair. There wasn't many chances for HJK. And to make it even better, Pablo Gonzalez doubled the lead in the 69th minute to give us a 2-0 lead, which we then held out for the rest of the game, and we ended up winning 2-0, which meant we went through on away goals. Stats wise in the match, it was 17 shots to 11 to me, 5 to 4 on target to me, and I had 55% of the possession. So it was really good actually, just come out of this game winning on away goals against a rather decent Finnish side. And we went through to the second round to play a Belarusian side called Belshina, who I hadn't heard of before, to be honest. And as you can see, we started with a 1-1 draw at home. Ladalsi put us 1-0 up in the 18th minute, and managed to hold out till half time. Unfortunately, we weren't able to keep the lead as a Mazalowski goal for Belshina right on the stroke of the arrow mark pulled it back to 1-1 and gave them the advantage of an away goal. Stats wise, it wasn't too bad. It's 13 shots to 12 to them. They had 6 on target to my 4, and I had 55% of the possession. Now, I wasn't too surprised to see we were slight favourites for this game, being home and everything. Obviously, it was a good, decent result against a Belarusian side, but I was really disappointed to actually concede that away goal. Into the second leg, and check that out, guys. 2-1 win after extra time. Mazgo put Belshina 1-0 up just after half time to put them 2-1 up as well. I then went attacking with about 20 minutes to go, and it paid off as Biancardi pulled one back for us on the 84th minute, and that's how it was at the end of the half. It was 1-1, so it was 2-2 on aggregate. So because both games were 1-1, there was no away goals, and I kept going attacking, to be fair, and it paid off as Ariel Ladowsi picked up the winner just 7 minutes before the end of the game and put us in the driving seat, to be fair, even with 7 minutes to go, as that second goal put us ahead on away goals even if they managed to claw one back, which they didn't. So for the first time ever, I would say probably in Sliema's history, we've now made it to the third qualifying round. It's 15 shots to 8 in my favour, 7 shots to 3 in targets in my favour, and I had 52% of the possession. And what I was surprised at was that I was favourites for the second leg as well, which I was really surprised at, considering they'd got an away goal in the first leg. So to come out with a 2-1 win in the second leg was really, really good. Obviously, money-wise, and the fact that it could do my European rankings quite a lot of good in the coefficients for next season. Now, in the third round, we were drawn against is it Karpaty Lviv from the Ukraine, I believe is their name. And unfortunately, Karpaty Lviv. And as you can see, unfortunately, it didn't go very well in the first leg. Kobin put Karpaty 1-0 up in the 20th minute. Less than 15 minutes later, however, we levelled up for Joselito. But unfortunately, we were not able to hold on till half time at 1-1, as Sialamas put Karpaty 2-1 up. Just before the hour mark, Golubovic put them 3-1 up, and then with 3 minutes to go, Bodenkov put them 4-1 up. Stats wise, 17 shots to 7 to them. They had 9 on target to my 6, and they had 54% of the possession. So it was unfortunate to concede with 3 minutes to go. I wasn't really expecting anything out of this section, to be honest. And as you can see in the second leg, it made no difference. Ilojovski put Karpaty 1-0 up in the 7th minute and pretty much guaranteed them the game when Bodenkov put them 2-0 up 15th minute. That's how it was at half time. Sialamas put them 3-1 up in the 49th minute. However, we did make the home fans happy by scoring for Huachu in the 51st minute. But then, just like the first leg, they got a goal close to the end of the game in the 91st minute through Skidan to make it 4-1 on the night and 8-2 on aggregate. Stats wise, again it was quite in their favour, 15 to 12, 8 shots to 6 on target in my favour, and they had 54% of the possession. And my highest attendance with Sliema in this file, 3,400 fans. So that was an end to the qualifying campaign for the Europa League. As you can see, it was just 1 round away from the actual main draw. So let's just see who Karpaty drew, because Trabzonspor was who they drew, and they drew the first leg 1-1, and they lost the second leg 2-0. So Trabzonspor made it into the group stages. So I'm really happy with that, getting to the third round of the qualifying or of the tournament, and being running very close to. Well, to be fair, we did get smashed by Karpaty, but I'm really happy to get into the third round. It'd be nice to get into Europe again and see what difference that actual um, wins have done for my rankings. If I go up anywhere, maybe it could improve my it could put me seeded possibly for Europa League at least. I don't think it will seed me for the Champions League, but we'll have to wait and see if we can make it into Europe. We'll just have a look at Europe for, what am I doing? We'll have a look at Europe for all the other Maltese clubs, if I can actually remember who they are. So there's Valletta. In the first round they beat Olympiabadji 3-0, and Quarmy were the other team who beat TNS from Wales 3-1. So all three Maltese clubs got into the second round for, I think, the second season running. In the second round, as you guys obviously remember, I beat Belshina 3-2 after extra time. Valletta went out 4-1 to Hibernian, and Quarmy got smashed 6-1 by Lech Poznan. So in the Europa League, one team got to the third qualifying round, and one team got to the two teams got to the second qualifying round. So it's not being too bad for Malta, to be fair. Though, as you may have a look when I have a quick shifty at all this in a minute, it's not doing much for the national side, unfortunately. In the Champions League, Vitorosa Stars lost to Rudar 4-0 on aggregate. So unfortunately, I don't think... Oh no, Valletta got to the third qualifying rounds in the very first season, but since then no one's made it past the actual second round, unfortunately. But it would be nice to get them to just make it into that round just the once, to see if it can improve the rankings for the Premier League. Let's just actually have a quick look and see if any random teams made it into the Champions League playoffs or into the group stages. Not really. Red Star, you'd expect Dynamo, Copenhagen, Maribor, Slovan Bratislava. I think the only team that would have surprised me there are these guys, Skenderbo from Albania. Let's have a quick look and see if any random teams from the Europa League made it. CSKA MLS, Apoel. No. Everton made it. That's nice. Udinese. No, not really. I'm just really more looking at all the nations I've got loaded up. So Bosnia, there's a nation, but it's more like Armenian, all that place. So you're like Skonto from Latvia, lost to Anchi, all those guys. So there's not really anyone there. So we're now going to the domestic campaign. We'll start with the friendlies. We had two decent friendlies. We lost 2-0 to Anderlecht, and we got smashed 5-1 by Olympiakos. But won a bit of money because they had 4,000 and 5,000 in the game. And then we beat Ligia Athletic 5-3 in our typical friendly against our feeder club. Though my board has now actually ended that because we've actually been taken over by a local businessman. So let's get into the league. We did not start well. We drew 2-2 against Rabat Ajax. This is fun. I'm going to try it. Astraskas, I think is how you say it. Put Rabat Ajax 1-0 up in the 12th minute. He then doubled it in the lead in the 25th minute, and we were 2-0 down at half time. I went attacking, and luckily it paid off. Gonzalez pulling one back for us in the 69th minute, and then Hoachu leveling it up in the 84th minute. Stats wise, there's 5 shots to 8 in my favour. They had 3 on target to my 2, and I had 59% of the possession. So it was quite nice to come away with a point after being 2-0 down. I then lost 3-0 against Birkirkara. Darmanin put Birkirkara 1-0 up in the 41st minute, and we did try to claw back, but unfortunately got hit by a sucker punch with a penalty in the 84th minute by Karapik, and then Calabretta made it safe for them in the 90th minute, and we ended up losing 3-0. It was 12 shots to 11 in their favour. They had 5 on target to my 4, and it was 56% possession to them. Not them. And then we followed that up by losing 3-2 at home to Quarmy. We did not start well at all. Nwoko put them 1-0 up in the 10th minute. 5 minutes later, they doubled the lead through Skalunu, I think is how you say it, and then Nwuku doubled his tally in the 29th minute, so we were 3-0 down by the half-hour mark. Gonzalez did give us some hope of getting something out of the game by pulling one back in injury time in the first half, but unfortunately, with all our possession in the second half, we couldn't get another goal until added on time again, and we weren't able to claw it back again. But you can't really expect much when you go 3 down in the half-hour mark. They had 8 shots, I had 10, 6 shots to 4 on target in my favour, and I had 58% of the possession. However, what a first win for the season. Check it out, 5-1 against Valletta. Joselito put me 1-0 up in the 32nd minute. We then doubled the lead in the 36th, and he then got his hat-trick just 13 minutes after the first goal, right on the stroke of half-time. In the second half, they pulled one back in the 46th minute, but thankfully that was all they had, as in the 72nd minute, Joselito got his 4th and our 4th of the game, and then 6 minutes later, Tabane scored his first goal of the season with just 12 minutes to go, 21 minutes after coming on as a sub after Pablo Gonzalez got injured. We then followed that up with a 3-1 win against last season's champion Viterosa. Joselito put me 1-0 up in the 4th minute. Gonzalez made it 2 in the 23rd, and that's how it was till half time. Barbete made it 3 in the 51st minute. Ryan McAuliffe pulled one back for them 9 minutes later. However, a red card for 2 bookings in 15 minutes for James Sheed put pay to them coming back into it, and we could have scored more, but I'll take a win. And it was 9 shots to 4 in my favour. We both had 4 on target, and I had 63% of the possession. And it was nice to get to our first wins of the season, and it made it even better the fact it was against last season's winners and runners-up in the league. We then followed that up with a 3-3 draw against Dingley Swallows. Ariel Odalsi put us 1-0 up in the 5th minute. On the 21st minute, Adam Smear made it 1-1. And then in the 36th minute, Joselito put us 2-1 up. And that's how it was at half time. A Andre Rocha penalty in the 53rd minute equalised for them in the second time in the match. They then took the lead for the first time in the 77th minute through Mifsud, but thankfully they weren't able to hold on, as 9 minutes later Joselito pulled it level and we got a 3-3 draw. It was 19 shots to 6 to us, 8 shots on targets to their 4, and we had 56% of the possession. We then followed that up with our second draw in a row with a 0-0 draw in Mostar. Was a bit disappointed to come away from this with just a draw, as they were bottom at the time, and as you can see, I absolutely dominated. 24 shots to 6 to me. I had 8 shots on target, they had none at all, and I had 54% of the possession. After that, we won our first cup game in 3 years with a 2-0 win against Non-Liga Tard. Joselito put us 1-0 up in the 18th minute, and that's how it was till half time. I lost Federico Marachi due to injury in the 72nd minute, Mintoff in the 85th, but luckily Joselito doubled the lead for us to make it safe in the 86th minute. Stats wise, it was 14 shots to 4 in my favour. I had 5 shots on target to their 2, and it was 55% possession to me. I then drew my 3rd league game in a row, 2-2 against newly promoted Naxar Lions. Ribeiro put them 1-0 up in the 6th minute. Pesena equalised for me just 3 minutes later, and we went in level at half time. In the 58th minute, a Kaleja own goal put me in front, and Gilbert Martin levelled it up for them with just 10 minutes to go. So it's disappointing to have our 3rd league draw in a row, and especially one that we were quite dominant in. It's 12 shots to 5 in my favour, 5 shots on target to 2 in my favour, and I had 62% of the possession. I then drew my 4th league game in a row against Rabat Ajax. Ohachu put us 1-0 up in the 20th minute. They equalised exactly 2 minutes later. through Chris Vela, and I then retook the lead through a Clyde Borg own goal in the 35th minute, and that's how it was at half time. We then went 3-1 up through Steve Tabone in the 58th minute. However, at Astroscas, or however how you say it, pulled one back for them in the 59th minute, and then Vela levelled it up in the 82nd minute, and we ended up drawing 3-3. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm actually going to plug in my computer to charge it. I didn't actually realise the battery was that low. Oh, there we go. So we drew 4 league games in a row. However, it's ended pretty decent, as you can see. We avenged our defeat against Birkirkara, beating them 3-1. Calabretta put them 1-0 up in the 32nd minute. However, we were level within 10 minutes through Jesulito. After the half-time, Tabon put us 2-1 up in the 48th minute. And in 5 minutes after the hour mark, Gonzalez made the game safe with a 3rd goal for us. It was 18 shots to 8 in my favour, 5 shots to 1 on target in my favour, and I had 63% of the possession. And in the final game of the section was a 1-0 win at Hibernians, thanks to Jesulito's only goal in the 10th minute. And in the stats wise, it was 8 shots to 6 in my favour, 2 shots to 1 on target in my favour, and I had 56% of the possession. Firstly, guys, apologies if it felt like I wasn't paying much attention there. I've got the Arsenal Dortmund game on as well, so I keep glancing up at that and losing my place. So that's how the fixtures went for the season. We're unbeaten in 8 games. Unfortunately, we've won 4 and drawn 4. It would be nice if maybe one or 2 more. That's a shocking cross. But it's nice to actually avenge the 2 defeats I had at the start of the season. So as you can see, despite that, I'm 8th in the table. I've won 4, drawn 5, far too many, and lost 2. 17 points, and I got a goal difference of +5. As you can see, I've only played 11 games. I got 2 games in hand on Hibernians, Valletta, Balzan, Cormy, and 3 games in hand on Naxar and Rabat. But the thing is, as you can see, Balzan are 2nd on 20 points. I'm 8th, Birkirkara are 9th, and we're on 17. We're only 3 points adrift. The only thing is, Cormy have absolutely mullered it so far. They're actually 12 points clear with 20 games to go. But hopefully they should have a bit of a poor season. But I mean, I know a little bit about Maltese football, but you got Cormy, Balzan, Naxar, Vitarosa, Rabat are the top 5. Now the big teams in Malta are Hibernians, Valletta, Sliema, Birkirkara, and normally Floriana. So for the highest person out of those 5 to be 6th in the table says what it's like, but hopefully it'll start to sort itself out. Stats wise, we'll try and get through this a little bit quickly. I've got Joselito, who's my high scorer, joint 3rd with Elton and Ever Parker, both from Balzan with 9. And then you got Joselito's got 51% target ratio. I would have shown you some of my stats, but Joselito is my leading goal scorer, so there's no need. So we are not doing too badly, but hopefully we can improve in the next section of games to get us a bit further up the table. And obviously it would be nice to get through the cup as well, where I've actually got Naxar in the next round. So that's it for this section, guys. I will come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The final game of 2016 away to Balzan Youths, which would there's possibility some of the games may be pushed back again because of the cup. We've got the 2 games in hand, I believe, are Macaba just here and Balzan just here, I believe, but I'm not too sure. I would say so because you've got Macaba there, and we've got Balzan now and there. So that is it, guys, for this episode. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe. I'd really appreciate some subscribers. Until then, take it steady and tune in next time for the next section of fixtures. So until then, guys, take it easy.